Hey y'all, this is Dave Decide. Today I want to get into Jimin being attacked once again and what happened here, but I also want to get into one of the last messages that he left for ARMY and what happened there. I think you'll be in tears after this one. So hater or not, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on, provide down below, tea-spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. The first thing that I want to get into today is what happened with Jimin on Weverse. This was actually something that was very interesting and it goes to show something really nice. But before I get ahead of myself, let me give some backstory. If you're unaware, really the only place I would recommend going to interact with BTS is on Weverse. If you simply just want to keep up with the boys, see their pictures, and like and share their pictures, then you can stay on Instagram, which is more than enough for me. I don't have to talk to my hubbies every day. It's all right. Most of the time, I just like to check in to make sure they're okay and know wherever they are in the world. Is that weird? I don't know. But if you want to leave a message to ensure that they read it and respond, then go on Weverse. And sometimes when they see it, they'll also leave you some advice and stuff. Jimin was recently on Weverse, and how Weverse works if you don't have it downloaded is BTS can see everything that is posted to their feed, and you also have the option to follow whichever artist is on the site, and when you do, you can go to the feed and see what everyone is posting about BTS. Sometimes it's something that they don't necessarily need BTS's attention for, but maybe would like the fandom to see, like a drawing or something. And then other times, they'll post something directed towards BTS, like a thank you message or something. This is oftentimes what BTS responds to, a thank you message. Jimin is rarely on social media, so it's very refreshing, fun, and even honoring to have Jimin respond, as he is rarely on, so if you do get a response, it kind of means a lot, right? It's like he came on just to respond to you. And when Jimin does respond, or BTS members respond to a post, everyone who is following BTS will get a notification that Jimin or BTS left a comment. People were writing posts to tell Jimin thank you for wishing everyone happiness, and they wish Jimin to have happiness as well. And something that is very cool to hear was that Jimin responded saying that he is indeed happy lately. So this is so nice to hear. It makes me so happy to know that Jimin is actually happy right now. And then there were various other posts talking about how Jimin should go to bed, as it seems pretty late in Korea when he was responding to these posts. It's so weird because ARMY wants Jimin to respond, but they also want to make sure he goes to bed. And so they keep asking him to get rest, but then everyone wants a response from Jimin, right? Jimin even wrote a comment saying that he will never be able to go to bed because he has been responding, but then ultimately decided that he will go to bed shortly. I believe it wasn't until the next morning, because this apparent post was written a day later, but Jimin happened to see it, and it was probably one of the last messages he left for ARMY during this comment answering session that he did. This was definitely more meaningful, and I think Jimin does pick the posts he wants to respond to pretty carefully, as he wants to make sure that every comment he makes goes out and inspires people as well. I mean, why not interact with ARMY and also inspire? Plus, I am sure he knows these posts often go out and are reported by several news sites after he comments. There was a post talking about how a particular ARMY did not love herself, and she kind of explained how she felt. She continued to talk about how she would really like to love herself and start to learn how to love herself, and how BTS has helped her through that. Their whole Love Yourself tour was all about this, and they made sure to tell the world that this is what they need to do for themselves. Jimin responded to this person and basically said that he dearly loves them and asked them to not be hurt, but to be happy, and that he truly means that with all his heart. I can't even imagine what this probably means to this ARMY, to feel accepted, heard, and all these wonderful things. Like, just to feel like Jimin understands and won't judge her back for her lack of self-love. And not only that, but show support and encourage her to find this happiness within herself. I know, it's a pretty basic thing and easy for a celebrity to say these words, but it's not entirely about the words. It's knowing that someone you care so deeply for understands what you're going through and wishes you well. It validates how you feel, and it validates the love that you have for this celebrity. It means a lot. And Jimin does not take that for granted. Jimin is such an amazing person, and he has no doubt struggled with self-love himself and has been quite open and honest about that. A little while ago, it was talked about how Jimin has a lot of issues with his self-image. Trigger warning here about self-image and dieting. It was reported that Jimin starved himself for 10 days during the Blood, Sweat, and Tears era, and infamously had a diet named after him called the Jimin diet. Do not attempt this diet, it will not work, and you could possibly die. He didn't, because he likely had medical professionals looking after him. It was reported and alleged that Jimin was jealous of Jin's looks and wanted to look like him, so I guess Jimin figured starving himself is the answer. However, Jin doesn't look good just because he's skinny. It's the confidence and self-love about him that makes him much more attractive, and Jimin has found that lately, and he is glowing. One of the many things that haters like to use against him is that, but also the fact that Jimin has other quote-unquote body imperfections, along with some of the other members too. Jimin and Taeyang are often talked about for having stretch marks. This is something that they can't help at all because it's not like they have gone through significant weight drops or have given birth. But it goes to show that stretch marks will happen regardless of weight or anything like that. Stretch marks are a part of people's lives and skin is not perfect. And it goes to show that people we idolize who are beautiful and amazing and we think are this godlike creature, well, now we know that they aren't that. They are human and much more beautiful because of that. Jimin has been spotted with stretch marks on his thighs and V has been seen with some on his underarms. These are more sensitive private areas in Korean culture and some people were mocking that the members have stretch marks there or anywhere. When you make fun of an idol for small things like this, it makes anyone who reads those comments hate themselves too, because when they see a comment making fun of Jimin's weight or Jimin's stretch marks, they'll look at themselves and be like, well, I don't look amazing because I have these things. And that's not good for society as a whole. We all look beautiful because we're human, and I know it's such a generic thing to say, but how can we be ugly when society has created the beauty standard? We only find things beautiful because it's something we've seen before. We all find familiarity to be attractive. People don't show stretch marks and stuff on TV, so we never see them growing up, and so we think it's something that we should be ashamed of because TV shows us smooth skin. But this is the issue. They show you smooth skin oftentimes so you buy that lotion that is claimed to be perfect. The TV stations and society creates this problem, which is that you have quote-unquote imperfect skin, and then they say, here's the solution to your stretch marks, buy this cream. When in reality, there was no problem. If you're a girl or woman who is growing and you're scared that another guy is going to find you unattractive because of these things, first off, immature boys will find it unattractive because they don't understand how a human body actually looks and to not base their reality on TV and magazines that are heavily photoshopped. But also, the men would hate you because these are usually the frat boys or finance bros that are the type of men that would leave you if you got pregnant by accident. Who cares if these men don't like you? I see it as a way to weed out the bad men from the decent ones. Think of it as those men were not your targeted demographic. Your body was made to appeal to another type of person and will appear to another type of person. Forget those people and love yourself and how you look. Society functions best when you're insecure and emotional about yourself. There's commercials everywhere screaming at you to not love yourself because this means you buy a product to fix it and they can make more money. And I'm not saying every product because sometimes the problem was already there before the product was made and the product was simply made to fix an actual issue. But sometimes if you go back, you'll notice that a lot of these issues didn't exist if it wasn't for the initial product. For instance, it is my conspiracy theory that shampoo to get rid of dry flakes only existed after people noticed that they had a severe amount of dandruff, so they created the product to get rid of it. But maybe dandruff only started because the regular shampoos were so drying to the scalp and regular shampoo was the problem. So it perpetuates the cycle to force you to buy more dandruff shampoo for the rest of your life to get rid of a problem that started with shampoo. I haven't shampooed in about 3 or 4 years and my dandruff eventually stopped. I'm not saying go do that because everyone has different levels of oil and all that. Obviously do your research, but it worked for me. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, a link down below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.